Do you like taking pictures with your phone whenever you visit a nice fancy restaurant? Or do you like traveling around the world and taking beautiful scenery photos? Well, I have the camera just for you. Today I'll be comparing why Canon is better than Nikon. I will be giving the specifics of Nikon, then I'll be giving the specifics of Canon, and I will tell you why Canon is better than Nikon. Nikon has a camera that has a new sensor design that eliminate optical low-pass filters without a bunch of distortion of fine lines and patterns. The speed for Nikon it's okay. It's got 6 photos per second and sometimes 11 depending on what brand you get. But the Canon can take 10 to 14 photos per second, and that is why a lot of action and sport people use this camera. Nikon's battery life has somewhat doubled more than the Canon, but Canon overall has a better life expectancy in most of their cameras. Unfortunately, Nikon has not so great video quality when it's against the Canon. Now, on to talking about the Canon itself. Options for the Canon has always come up short against Nikon, but they are more descriptive on the features, and they talk about and go a little more detail on how to use it for beginners on each of the settings. The Canon is pretty speedy for burst rate and making it a top seller again for action and sports photographers. The dial and navigation of the Canon is pretty explanatory, and the autofocus is highly exceptional. You also can switch off the autofocus and use manual focus, and it focuses really well and has bright, clear images, and it is not foggy or shady. And for money, the Canon is pretty cheap, and you can also get a bundle. Like, you can get the camera case, you can get the 75 to 300 millimeter lens that comes with it, and these take off so you can switch out the lens, and sometimes it even will come with 2 32 gigabyte hard drives for you to store all your photos on. Nikon has a little bit cheaper for like more beginner people, but I would prefer the Canon because the Canon is more explanatory. Like, if you do a landscape, it'll even pop up on the screen and give you a more definite on what landscape feature is. And that's for every single feature on this camera. The megapixels for the Canon are better than the Apple's newest phone lenses, and they are better than Nikon's lenses, and they can take pictures far away, you can take pictures up close, they go a great distance. It all depends on the lens that you get. And also, the Canon has a built-in Wi-Fi system that if you have an Apple phone, Samsung phone, you can get an app and you can connect to the automatic Wi-Fi on the Canon camera and transfer those photos that you took onto your phone automatically and save them without having to put them on a computer first and having to download them and then having to plug your phone up and transfer them there. In conclusion, that is why the Canon is better than Nikon. Everyone has their own opinions, and some people like Nikon, some people like Canon. Choose what is right for you, but I would definitely choose the Canon.